Hello and welcome to Prep Smart. So today we are going to discuss about the important news that came in today's Indian Express and the Hindu. So these are the four different topics that we are going to discuss today. First, from the economy section, we are going to talk about that the retail inflation passes to 4.4%, which is basically beyond the RBI's inflation target. Next, from the environment and ecology section, we are going to talk about biogas, what is the composition of biogas, and also how it can solve our energy security problem. Next, from polity, we are going to talk about Ladakh Autonomous Hill Councils, and from the international relations, we are going to talk about India-Japan 2+2 dialogue. So let us start first with the economy topic. That is, retail inflation climbs past RBI's target of 4.4%. So what is the news here? So as per the recent news, it has been come to measure that the India's retail inflation, which is basically measured from the consumer price index, which we also call as the CPI. Okay, so for measurement of inflation, we use the value of CPI, that is Consumer Price Index. Now, recently in the month of June, the value has reached to 4.4%, which is a high of last 18 months. Okay, now why this is concerned, like what is the reason that the RBI is saying for this increased inflation? So the first reason that it has been told about is the rising price of the food article, rising price rising price of the food articles or food items. And what is the reason that the food items price is rising? Because this is a year where the monsoon is low, right? This is a El Nino year, and we are observing the monsoon rainfall below normal. Okay, so definitely the crop production and its harvesting is also below normal, below average. So that is why the food items price has increased. And the second reason that has been said is because of the conflict that is happening in West Asia. Conflict in West Asia. And because of that, the price rise in the fuel. Okay, so that means majorly the two item, one is the food item and the second is the fuel item. These two together are causing the inflation that steep in result. Okay, so that is the reason that has been talked about here. Now, if we little bit also revise about the basics of inflation. So this is the basic of inflation. We know that for RBI, the target rate of inflation is at 4%, right? So that is the target rate of inflation, 4 plus minus 2. So that means there is a range that the inflation should can hover within the range of 2% to 6%. That is the limit that has been given. And for that, what particular measurement is used? For that, RBI uses the CPI value over a 5-year of cycle. And if RBI fails to maintain this inflation range, that is from 2% to 6%, if RBI fails to manage that for 3 consecutive quarters, okay, for 3 consecutive quarters, not for one single quarter, but for 3 consecutive quarters, then it is called a failure mandate. Okay, and for that, what is the remedial action? Then RBI must have to report its reasons, what are the proposed remedies it is thinking about to take in its policies, what is the recovery timeline it might take. All of this it has to inform to the government. Okay, so that is about the RBI's inflation target framework. Now, who is basically in charge of inflation control and everything. So there is our monetary policy committee. Now monetary policy committee is directly associated with regulating the repo rate. Okay, so by setting the benchmark of repo rate, it also maintains to target the inflation. Okay, now if we talk about that how many members are present in the monetary policy committee, we know there are total 6 members. 3 members are from RBI, including the governor of RBI, and then 3 members are from the government. Okay, and also the governor of RBI, he has a casting vote in case of there is a tie. Okay, so these are the basics of inflation, which is very important for the prelims examination. You see any like you just open the PYQ of any year from the inflation topic. This is very important, and also this will make your basics for the mains as well. And also all other exams, when you read about the very basic economy, these are the very core topics you must be knowing. Okay, now after this, next news is that can biogas aid India's energy security? Okay, so this is a article that has come today in the Hindu, and it's a very good article. I have highlighted the entire article and also added the points like which part is covering the static knowledge and which part is covering about the government initiatives and everything. So I will be sharing this in the channel also. For that, you have to join the channel. That is the Prep Smart channel. The link will be given below in the video in the comment section. Now let us discuss about this particular topic. So first of all, we have to understand what is biogas, like basically how it is produced and what is the composition of biogas. Okay, so biogas is basically can be produced from different substances. Okay, we can use the waste material from our capitals. We can use crops like maize, paddy. Then wastewater can also act as a source, or food waste of us can also act as a source. Now all these are basically organic matters, right? These are organic matter. So when these organic matters are fed inside an anaerobic digester, anaerobic means oxygen is not present, in the absence of oxygen. So when there will be a fermentation happening basically inside this anaerobic digester, and because of that the biogas is released. Now this biogas can be used for heat generation, like you can use it for the fuel, for the cooking fuel also this can be used, or it can also be used for the production of electricity. Okay, apart from that, from the biogas, sometimes biogas has methane also, that can also be used for the fuel, like the CNG that is used in the vehicles. Okay, so for that also it can be used. So this is the basics. We need to remember that biogas is basically produced because of anaerobic digestion or anaerobic respiration, or if it is said somewhere fermentation, that is also same thing. Basically oxygen is absent. As a reactant, livestock waste can be used, crops can be used, wastewater can be used, or food waste also can be used. Then the biogas that we get, that is basically not a single gas, but that is a mixture of different gases in different composition. So maximum it has the methane, 50 to 65%. Then apart from methane, it also has carbon dioxide gas, 30 to 40%, and all other gases in very trace amount like hydrogen, nitrogen, hydrogen sulfide, little bit amount of oxygen and water vapor. Okay, so this is the composition of the biogas. So now why this is basically currently we are discussing about, because as I told you that it is an energy rich gas that is produced during the anaerobic digestion of the organic biomass. Now, what are the composition of biogas? Biogas has, as I told you, it has methane, it has carbon dioxide, hydrogen, water vapor, nitrogen, and some other gases as well. Now, this biogas is basically there are already in past some of the government initiatives that has been taken to promote the use of biogas as a alternative energy security, because in the recent criteria, in the last article we discussed that because of the tension that is going on in the West Asian countries, there is a typical shortage of energy, is stress is happening in our country, and we are also in worry that if this problem persists, then there could be a very big problem can arise for our country, right? Because if we know that around 85% of crude oil of India is imported, right? And also, before the conflict, most of the oil, like around 45 to 50% of oil used to come from the Strait of Hormuz. But because of the tension that is going on currently between USA and Iran, and the Strait of Hormuz is like blocked, and then they also reopen it, but still there are multiple strikes are happening there. So obviously the situation is very tense. So that is why India has now diversified its oil import. It is now importing more Russian oil from USA also, right? So it has diversified. But if we talk about in terms of LPG, still the around 90% of LPG import of India comes from Strait of Hormuz, right? From the Persian Gulf through the Strait of Hormuz, then through Arabian Sea, it reaches our country. So it has becoming a huge issue, because if LPG shortage is there, because maximum LPG is coming through import, then it will directly affect our cooking fuel, domestic cooking fuel that is used in our country. So people can't have food. So that's a huge crisis apart from the industrial crisis that is going to happen. So that is why now what are the government initiatives government has already taken about? So we will be talking about two government schemes here. One is the sustainable alternative towards affordable transportation, that is the SATAT scheme, right? Here government has talked about compressed biogas, 5,000 compressed biogas plants production by 2023-24, where they will be producing around 15 MMT of compressed biogas, and that will definitely enhance the income of the farmers, and that will also give some job opportunities. Basically here the SATAT scheme is talking about using the compressed biogas as a alternative form of fuel in the vehicles. Okay, then there is also the Govardhan scheme. In the Govardhan scheme, which is comes under the Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin objective. Now in under the Govardhan scheme also, it is talking about, yeah, come here. Yeah. So it is basically talking about waste to wealth. Okay. So Govardhan scheme, the full name is Galvanizing Organic Bioagro Resources Dhan scheme. It's basically trying to use the organic biomass products, and then from there to generate the biogas plants, and then to use that for electricity generation as well as fuel production. Okay, and along the by process also, it will help in the generation of organic manure. Definitely it will help to manage the waste, and it will improve the savings and also give the farmers alternative ways of income. Okay, so this was about this thing. Now, what are the problems that has been noticed? That although these schemes are still there, but because of the lack of the financial support from the government regarding the biogas projects, and also because there are no as such tax exemptions are allowed regarding biogas plants. So that is why because of the credits are also not available. So all of these reasons, there are not much biogas plants that are available specifically in the private initiative, and that is why it has been said that if some financial support could be given from the government, some incentives could be given, or there must be if they can implement the concept of tax holidays, right, then that can basically incentivize the private sectors to come in the production of compressed biogas. Okay, and for that some best practices are also given. in this particular article, where they have talked about countries where they are using crops, like say for example maize or paddy for their production. But for that also there is a contra side. Basically, as per our economic survey 2026, it has been seen that maize production, okay, the production of maize has increased way much as compared to other crops, specifically rice, wheat, all other crops, because as per the recent incentive schemes that is there for the government, ethanol that is produced from maize or the compressed biogas that is produced from maize gets it gets more remunerative price. Okay, more remunerative price is obtained as compared to if it is obtained from rice or something else. So that is why definitely farmers are more prone towards maize production, and that in turn directly affecting our crop diversity. Okay, that is decreasing our crop diversity. So that is all about this particular article. You can also read this article. I will share that in the group. Okay, next we are going to talk about Ladakh District Autonomous Hill Council. So basically what is going on here? So recently in the Ladakh there are 17 new tehsils has been announced to strengthen the grassroots governance, and here they have talked about that Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Council, okay, LAHDC. What it is happening, basically LAHDC, it's an autonomous statutory body. So it's a statutory body, and it's also autonomous. Okay, now if it is statutory, so that means it is definitely established through some act. So what is the act? The act is also LAHDC Act, through which this council has been established. Okay, now this is basically to administer the hill districts of Ladakh. Initially, this LAHDC was limited only to districts of Ladakh, Leh and Kargil. Okay, but recently what has happened, they have extended the establishment of this council to all the 7 districts of Ladakh. So now, apart from Leh and Kargil, there are 5 more districts will be added. That is Zaskar, Nubra, then Changthang, Sham and Dras. Okay, so all 7 will now become a part of this LAHDC. So now what is the concern here? Here also coming another problem, that is that people here, they are for a very long period of time, they are demanding for the 6th schedule to be implemented here in the Ladakh, because if you see that the people in the Ladakh, the 97% of people in Ladakh are belonging from some tribal communities. Okay, so for a very longer period of time, they are demanding to implement the 6th schedule in Ladakh so that they can have more autonomy in terms of their land, their culture, their environment and everything. But the government, they haven't given the 6th schedule. There are 4 states currently in India which is having 6th schedule, and all the 4 states are in Northeast. So what are those 4 states? That is Assam, Meghalaya, then Tripura and Mizoram. These 4 states only granted the 6th schedule, and based on that they also have their autonomous district councils. Now anywhere the autonomous district councils are present, they have way more autonomy over their governance, policy, environment and everything. So Ladakh is also demanding for that, but our government has not till not implemented 6th schedule here, although there are huge demand for that. Instead of that, Article 371 is implemented in Ladakh. Now, what is the basic difference between the 6th schedule and the Article 371? Right? So as I told you that 6th schedule is basically administers the establishment of autonomous district councils, but 371 is basically, it gives some legislative protection to the customs and the land rights of that particular area, and 6th schedule is basically given to the entire state. Okay, but Article 371, which is also known as the sui generis implementation by the government, can be applicable to the parts of the state wherever it is required, not the entire state but parts of state. That is why states like Maharashtra, Gujarat, okay, then Nagaland, okay, so many other states are there, Arunachal Pradesh, okay, different parts of this state are coming under Article 371. Now, basically, if you talk about that which particular constitutional framework gives more autonomy, more liberty to the local people, that is definitely 6th schedule. But currently in Ladakh, Article 371 is implemented after in 2019 through Article 370. You know that the statehood of Ladakh was eliminated. Like basically Jammu and Kashmir and also Ladakh was eliminated, and now they have become the union territory. Okay, so please remember these articles that could be very important for solving the questions. Next, the last thing we are going to talk about from international relations is about India-Japan review, defense ties, prepare ground for 2+2 dialogue. So we know recently this month only, Japan's Prime Minister came in our country because of the visit, and there was a summit happened, many discussions has taken place, and there was also a talk ongoing about the 2+2 dialogue somewhere at the end of this year. So we will just quickly revise that what is basically a 2+2 dialogue and which ministries take part in this 2+2 dialogue. 2+2 means from Japan and India, two ministries, basically the Defense Ministry as well as the External Affairs Ministry, from both the country, they will come together. They will come together in a meeting and they will talk about what? Expanding defense cooperation, and also about defense industry, cyber security, space and advanced technologies. And also they are going to talk about in the 18th India-Japan Defense Policy Dialogue, which is going to be held in Tokyo. Okay, and also when we are revising this, there is also a static point, that is Quad, because 2+2 is just an extension of the Quad, and in Quad there are 4 members. India and Japan, apart from that there are 2 more members that is a part of Quad. I want you to answer in the comment that what are the all 4 members that is present in Quad, and also you have to tell me about ASEAN, that is India and Japan both are parts of ASEAN or not. Okay, so these are the 4 articles that I needed to discuss with you today, and this is the logo to join the Telegram channel. You can scan it here and join the Telegram channel there. And also please consider subscribing the channel. That will motivate me to bring the newspaper analysis videos. And also if you're liking anything, not liking anything, please let me know in the comment. That will motivate me to bring the video every day. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye bye.